Good afternoon, class. Today, I, Vishali, will start with the first chapter of this book, First Flight. Okay, and the chapter is A Letter to God. Let me first discuss the theme of the chapter. A Letter to God, it written by G.L. Fuentes. And the chapter talks about faith. That how an innocent faith, which Lencho had in God, was actually kept intact by another character in the story, Postmaster. Okay, so let us first look at the story. There is the farmer Lencho, and he grows crops and he's waiting for rain. Why is he waiting for rain? Because he wants that the harvest will be good if rain is there, and he'll be earning good, and that would suffice his for his family. Now, what happens? With rain comes hailstorm, and hailstorm totally destroys his crops, and now he's left with nothing. So he's upset, but still he has some positivity in him, or he has some positivity because he believes in God. He says that God sees everything and he helps good people. He says he believes that he is a good person, he has always done good, so somehow God will help him. And so he starts writing a letter. His writing that letter to God shows his very innocent faith, like how innocent or childlike he is, that he believes that God exists in the form of in a physical form. It's a physical entity. Okay, so that is why he's writing a letter, and in that letter he asks for 100 pesos. He says that please give me 100 pesos so that I'll be able to live properly for a year. I'll be able to provide everything to my family for a year, and I will again grow the crops. So I need 100 pesos. He writes his letter and posts it. He puts that in the post box. Now, post man, finds the letter and he starts laughing over it. He makes fun of the letter. He says, "Who's the stupid who has written letter to God?" He laughs and brings that letter to postmaster. Now, postmaster at first he laughs, but later he realizes that a person who is writing letter to God, how innocent that person is, and how strong his faith is in God, and he wants to keep that faith intact, strong. So he becomes kind. He does something very human, very kind. He collects money from the post office people, gives some money from his salary, and keeps 70 pesos in a letter and give it to Lencho. Fine. How? Again in the form of post, he posts it to Lencho. Now next day Lencho comes asking for a letter and he finds a letter. And there inside the letter there were 70 pesos. Now there is someone who has faith, that is Lencho, faith in God. And second, there is someone who's keeping that faith strong, that is postmaster. So what this chapter wants to say is, we human beings are the only God. Okay, by helping each other we keep that faith in God intact. That is some positivity there. Okay, we keep the positivity intact, we keep the positivity strong. Okay, so this innocence will live only when there is kindness on earth. Okay, so he's helping in keeping that belief strong. Okay, now but what happens when Lencho, he opens the letter and finds 70 pesos? He gets upset, he gets angry. Why? He says that I asked for 100 pesos and God listens to everyone. He must have given me 100 pesos, but these crooks means these people who are not honest, dishonest people in the bank, the people who are working in the bank, they must have taken 30 pesos and kept 70 pesos inside the letter. So they have taken it. They are the crooks. I believe in God. He says that I believe in God. He must have given me 100 pesos only. So he writes another letter, and in that letter he writes that, God, please send me other 30 pesos, but this time don't send it by the means of post office, through post, because these crooks, they will take it. Fine. Now, again, just look at the intensity of Lencho's faith. That how much faith he has in God. He again writes that he wants 30 pesos. He believes that actually God has given him the money. So his faith is very, it's like a child's faith in various things. We know kids, they are very curious and they always have faith in on the parents, on the people around them. That same faith Lencho has for God, and he is having conversation with God through letters. He believes that God exists and he will reply. And plus, look at the postmaster side. Without any such, he doesn't have anything with the Lencho. He will not get anything by helping Lencho. Okay, without any selfishness, he's helping the person Lencho, and not only helping. At last, he's blamed. He and his employees are blamed for taking 30 pesos, for being dishonest. But still, he helped. That gives a lesson that no matter what, you should be selfless and help others. You shouldn't think that how helping others will help us. Okay, sometimes you don't get anything for that help, but what you got is that Lencho's faith or other person's faith in God remains intact. That faith in God is actually faith in humanity, because God helps through people only. Humanity and God, they're almost same. So this is the theme and story of this chapter. Now let us discuss the text of the chapter. The first line starts like this. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. They are saying that there is a house which is there at the top of a low hill. Crest means at the top. It is the only house there at the top of a hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. So from that height, from the top of the hill, you could see corn fields and they were full with flowers, and these flowers means there will be good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Now this person, Lencho, he's waiting for rain. The writer says that the only thing which earth now needs is some water, some downpour, or at least shower means some rainfall. A little rainfall. So Lencho was also waiting for the rainfall. He was doing nothing but looking at the sky. That means he was waiting for the rainfall. Now we are really going to get some water, women. He says this to Lencho says this to his wife, that we are about to get some water because there were clouds in the sky. The woman who was preparing for supper replied, "Yes, God willing." The older boys were working in the field, while the smaller ones were playing near the house, until the woman called to them all, "Come for dinner." It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. Now what happened? Now we will come to know about the family, Lencho's family. Lencho has a wife who is preparing supper, who is preparing food, and even she has faith in God. He says, "God willing." If God wills, the rain will be there and our harvest will be good. And there are kids. The older boys, they were working in the field, and the smaller ones, they were playing outside the house. And the women call all of them for dinner. It was during the meal that, as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. Now, while they were having their food, big drops of rain began to fall. That means rain started. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. Now, there were clouds coming from the northeast. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5." Now, the air is fresh because of the rain. And Lencho went out to feel the rain. He was happy. Why? Because there will be rain and there will be good harvest. Good harvest means more money and better life. So he was happy with it. And he went outside and he felt the drops. Now he says, These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5. Now he is comparing comparing the drops with coins. He says that the big drops, they are 10-cent pieces and the smaller ones are 5 cent. Cent, again, it is currency. The way we have rupees, they have cent. And he is very directly saying that big drops are 10 cent. Which figure of speech is used here? Metaphor or simile? It is metaphor, because directly he's saying that big drops are 10 cent. He's not saying that big drops are like 10 cent or they are as good as 10 cent. He's saying they are 10 cent. It is a very direct comparison. So it's a metaphor. A metaphor is used here in the story. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flower draped in a curtain of rain. Now he was looking at his field and he says that it was draped, totally covered with the curtain of rain. It was covered with the cloth of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Now, again, when he was looking at the corn field, what happened? Hailstorm came. What is hailstorm? You might have seen hailstorm. Let me show you what is hailstorm. Show you the picture of hailstorm. This is hailstorm. These hailstorm, as you can easily see, they look like frozen pearls. Just look at this picture. They look like frozen pearls, moti. Frozen because they are made of ice, so we are saying they are frozen pearls. So there was hailstorm and the kids, they ran outside and collected these frozen pearls. Frozen pearls is used for hailstorm. Again, it is a metaphor. Directly they are saying that they ran to collect the frozen pearls. They are not saying they ran to collect the hailstorm. They are saying they ran to collect the frozen pearls. They are comparing hailstorm to it very directly without using the words like. "It's really getting bad now," exclaimed the man. "I hope it passes quickly." Though the kids were happy to see the hailstorm, but father was not. Lencho was not. He says that it is very bad and it should stop very quickly. It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. Now, what happens? But this hailstorm didn't stop quickly. It hailed for an hour, and now everything was white. It was as if everything is covered with salt. Okay, the field was white as if covered with salt. Now here simile is used. Okay, the field was covered with hailstorm, but it looked as if it was covered with salt. That hailstorm which was there, which was there on the land, it looked like salt. So as if is used here. So it is simile. They're not saying that it is salt. They're saying it is as if salt. So it is simile, figure of speech. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. Now there was nothing left. No greenery left. Every leaf was out from the plants. It fell down from the plant, and the cornfield was totally destroyed and the flowers were totally gone. Now Lencho was sad because no flowers means no corn. No corn means no good harvest and no money. So he was sad. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his son, "A plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing." Now, plague is a kind of a disease which spreads very quickly and which kills many people, and a kind of epidemic. So here, plague of locusts, they are insects They fly and they destroy the crops. So it's a kind of disease for plants, and these insects eat plants. So he says that these locusts, a plague, an epidemic by this locusts would have left more than the hailstorm. Okay, they are now left with nothing. If there was plague, such kind of plague, then there will be something left, but now there is nothing left. This year we will have no corn. Now Lencho is sad. He's saying that because of hailstorm now we will have no corn. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. They worked so hard in the fields, but at last they got nothing. Okay, so their work was for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year. Now he's sad, and in this sadness, he's saying that nobody can help us. Now come to this. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope: help from God. Now there was little hope, a hope that God will help them. If nobody will help them, God will help them. They're saying that in that solitary house, as I told you, it was the only house on the top of the hill. So it's a solitary, a very lonely, only house present there on the hill. But in that house, even after that sadness, there was some hope. That is hope in God. Don't be so upset. Even though this seems like a total loss, remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. Now he has some hope in God. He says that we should not be upset because on this earth no one dies of hunger. There is always someone looking after the person who is hungry, and that someone is God. So God helps everyone and no one dies of hunger. So we will also not die because of hunger. God will help us. Actually, this line, no one dies of hunger, means that if a person is hungry, very hungry, he is about to die because of hunger, some or the other person will come and help that person, will provide him or her with food. So the possibility of people dying of hunger is very less, according to Lencho. Because Lencho is a good person. If he will see someone who is hungry, he will provide him or her with food. So he believes that others will also do it. Okay, and for him this others is God, that God will always help good person and no one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. Lencho was an ox of a man, working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. The following Sunday, at daybreak, he began to write a letter, which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. Now, what Lencho does? Now, all throughout the night, he was thinking about God. Okay, that how God will help him. And conscience means an inner sense of right and wrong. Inside, you know what is right and wrong. So he knows that he has been a good person. So God will help him. God sees everything and he sees good people. And good people always get good things. So he believes that God will help him. Lencho was an ox of a man. Ox of a man means he's very hard-working person. He works on field. He does the physical work. But he also knows how to write. So he writes a letter to God and he goes to town to post that letter. And what he wrote in that letter? He wrote, God, if you don't help me, my family, and I will go hungry. This year I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes because of the hailstorm. Now he says that my family and I will go hungry. But if you will give us 100 pesos or provide us with 100 pesos, we can live properly. We can have food for the family. I can again grow the crops. He wrote to God on the envelope. On the envelope where you have to write the address of the receiver. He wrote to God there. and put the letter inside that post box. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it inside the mailbox. Okay, so he first went to the town, he placed a stamp on it and then put it in the post box. Now, pesos is currency of Latin America. Okay. Now, one of the employees who was a postman and also helped at the post office went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. Now, postmaster, he took out that letter and he started laughing that someone has actually written letter to God. Who writes a letter to God? And he has never seen anyone who has written this address to God. The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing, but almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of this man who wrote this letter, starting up a correspondence with God." Now, these lines are important. They might come in your extract. He says that, "What faith!" exclamation. Okay, with emotions, a lot of emotions. He says that, "What faith! This faith is so strong. Someone has written letter to God, and his correspondence with God means he has started conversation with God." Okay, such is the faith of this person that he has started speaking to God. He believes that God exists as a person to whom he can write, as a physical entity to whom he can write. So, such strong faith this person has. These are the words of postmaster. Postmaster is saying this for Lencho. So this postmaster, he's an amiable fellow. Amiable means he's very friendly. Though he laughed at the letter first, but later he realized that this letter is not just a letter, it's a strong faith of a person in God. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answer the letter. He says that this faith should not shake. Okay, it should not dull. It should not get dull, or should stay strong. So he thought of answering the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it, he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper. So when he opened the letter, he gets to know that he will be needing ink, paper and a goodwill. Goodwill means a kind heart to reply back to that letter. He'll need this, but these are not the only things he'll need. He'll need some money. Why? Because Lencho has asked for money. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. Now, what happens? He says that he was very firm that he will help Lencho. So what he does, he takes money from the people, the employees at the post office. He gives some part of his salary also in that letter and sends it to Lencho. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos. So he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as signature, God. Now he writes a letter and he signs it as God. He writes nothing but just signs it as God and sends the money he collected from the post office. The money he collected from his own salary and from the salary of other employees at the post office. So he sends that letter to Lencho, and they are saying that money is he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. Means he wanted 100 pesos, Lencho wanted 100 pesos. He was able to send more than half, means more than 50 pesos. That is, he sent 70 pesos. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. Now Lencho, let's look at his faith. He's waiting for God's letter. So he comes to the post office and he asks if there is any letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. Now the postman, he gave letter to Lencho, and postmaster was looking at that person. He was having a feeling of contentment. Contentment means satisfaction. He was satisfied that he has done something good. He was having the satisfaction of a person who does something good. Every time we do something good for people, we feel that satisfaction in ourselves, inside us. So the same satisfaction was felt by the postmaster. It was impossible for him to gather. Sorry. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money, such was his confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. Now, Lencho opened that letter and he was not surprised, as if he knew that God will send him money. Okay, there was no surprise. He was like, yes, I asked for money, so God will give me money. I'm a good person, He will give me the money. So he was having this much of confidence in God. But he became angry when he counted the money. That money was lesser than what he wanted. He says that God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. He says that God cannot make a mistake. This is not God's mistake. I asked for 100 pesos and I got 70 pesos. God cannot deny my request. Okay, I request means he requested for 100 pesos and gave only 70. So he cannot deny it and he cannot make mistake. Immediately Lencho went up to the window to ask for a paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. Now, immediately what Lencho did, he asked for paper and ink and he started writing a letter. And while he was writing the letter, he had to think a lot. That is why they are saying that there were much efforts which he had to give to write the letter. So he had to think a lot that how to express his idea, how to say that he believes in God, that he must have given him 100 pesos. He was feeling it was little tough for him. He was not very comfortable in writing that idea. So it was little tough for him. Maybe they are saying that though he was educated, he could write letter, but he was not much educated. Kind of, he was only literate. He could write, but he could not express that well, the way other people express, the way writers express. So again he did that, put the stamp and put the letter in the envelope. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. Okay, now again the postmaster went and opened the letter, and what was there? It was written, God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Now he says that, God, I asked you for 100 rupees, but I got only 70 pesos. I want rest of the money, the 30 pesos. But don't send that money through mail. Okay, don't send it through a letter. Why? Because these employees at the post office, they are crooks. Crooks means they are dishonest. And Lencho thought that they have taken the 30 pesos. So he says that next time send the money through different mean. Now what happens at last? Though postmaster did something good, but he didn't get any good for it. Okay, rather he was blamed for his help, for the help that he provided to Lencho. So he was very selfless. Postmaster was very selfless. He didn't want anything from Lencho for his help. For postmaster's help, he wanted nothing from Lencho. So he was very selfless, but though he had good idea inside him, he wanted to do something good, then also he was blamed. At last, negative words were used for him. Word like crook, dishonest. Though it was not only postmaster who helped, other employees who gave money, they also helped. But what was the final thing? They were blamed. Everyone was blamed. So here the chapter ends. Now with the end of this chapter, A Letter to God, we clearly see that there is strong faith in it. Then there are people who are very much human, very kind people who helped, And sometimes for something good we do not get good things. Okay, we can sometimes be blamed for doing good, but still we should do the good. Why? Because it will keep the faith not only in God but in good things alive. Okay, so here ends our chapter, A Letter to God.